Hello everyone and welcome to LoonyPoundCake.tv here on YouTube, and today we're going to do something fun. I thought it would be something really fun to do, and me being a shipper for many years, like I want to say 25 plus, I thought it would be fun to basically showcase some ships that I have shipped over the years and give you essentially a shipping win-loss TBD record. So we're gonna look at a couple of ships images. I'm gonna give you a brief, just a small little description of like why I shipped them, or what ship it is, where it's from, and just tell you why I thought they were great to ship, and let you know if that ship became canon, it did not become canon, or TBD, open ending. Essentially, we don't know if the ship became canon because the author decided not to reveal at the end, or didn't reveal any sort of ships at all. So I thought this would be a little fun, and if you have any ships that you enjoyed, that you had a lot of fun shipping, let me know in the comments below. I'll let you know if I shipped them or not. And yeah, let me know what your shipping record is, depending on how many of these ships you actually did ship. Now, we're going to go over anime ships, we're going to go over game ships, and we're going to go over cartoon, just comic book ships, and so on and so forth. But these are all ships that I have, thought of in my brain. There's a lot of ships out there that I do have memories of, but I just couldn't really probably put them on this list just because of I couldn't think of them at the time. So yeah, let me know what your record is as well as we go through each and every ship. So without further ado, let us begin with the first ship on our list, which would be Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aang and Katara. Oh boy, as you can see, it's probably alphabetized. That's why this is the first ship that we see here. So, why did I ship Aang and Katara? I think, for the most part, in the very beginning, there was not really any sense or vibes that I did get for Aang and Katara that really made me ship them. But as the story progressed, especially within Book 2, I noticed that there's been hints thrown around by the creators, and slowly I became an Aang and Katara shipper. Now, there's a lot of people who do ship, Zuko and Katara that really enjoy that that ship. I just personally never really got any vibes in regards to it, but I always thought Aang and Katara was a really fun ship, and clearly the creators were planning on it, and it essentially won. So for the first ship that we have here, we go with our first win. I got this ship to become, well, I didn't get this ship to become, this should become canon, so yay me, our first victory here. So let us go on to ship number 2, which is For those who do not know what this ship is, this is from an anime slash manga called D Gray Man, and D Gray Man is a very unique one because there's not really, there is hints of ships. Here's the thing, it is a type of anime manga show that you could definitely see that maybe the author is hinting at maybe a hetero ship, but the author's also hinting at a lot of yaoi ships. But for me, D Gray Man, I always thought Alan and Lenny was going to become a great ship, going to be the canon ship. I just love their interactions. I love their moments together throughout the entire series. D Gray Man is still ongoing, so while no ship has become canon, unfortunately, because of that, Alan and Lenny has not become canon, or has not been confirmed canon. So while it is not technically a loss, it is a TBD. So we'll put one down for TBD. I just really love the dynamic, the moments that they had together. Whether or not anything does happen, I think there's also another ship with Lenny and I forgot his name. He has a red head. It's been a while since I read D Gray Man. So Lobby, I think his name was. And yeah, it's been a while, so excuse me if I don't remember these names correctly. But This is a ship that I shipped for quite a while until the anime and manga got on hiatus, and then eventually did come back to become a monthly manga, and I kind of just fell off it because it did feel kind of confusing a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if the author's gonna go with this, but I will keep it as TBD. All right, our next ship is, sorry, our next ship would be, God. Okay, so this is from a series called Voltron. Not the original Voltron, which I believe was 1989, but this was Voltron: The Legendary Defender. No, wait, I don't remember. It was Voltron. It's Voltron on Netflix. If you want to watch Voltron on Netflix, it's actually a great show. I do highly recommend it. Now, for this, it's one of those ships where like it pains me to say that I took a massive L. And it's just, the ship that became canon, I just did not vibe with me whatsoever. I did not like it. But this is between two characters, Keith and Allura. Keith, who was the first. It's been a while since I watched Voltron, but he was the one who commanded the Red Lion, I believe. Red Lion, then eventually became the leader of Voltron. I believe he commanded the Black Line. I don't remember. It's been a while. But this was Keith and Allura. Allura was the princess, the main princess. Now, in the original Voltron, Keith and Allura actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was more romantically involved. Here, no. I took a massive L. It still stings a little bit, but I took a massive L. I'm sorry. I just did not like it. I understand why it didn't become canon, but at the same time, it just, it hurts me. It hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. This was one of those ships where I took a massive L, and I still think about it and cry about it. It's just really bad. All right, let's move on to the next ship before I start crying. The next ship would be, so Persona 5. Persona 5 is interesting because you could pick any character you wanted to romance with the protagonist. Well, not every character. But you could pick any character, almost any character, to romance with the protagonist. Now, none of the Personas ever confirm which pairing is canon. It doesn't happen. It doesn't really happen at all, whether it's the anime or the game. And the devs never really tell you which ship does become canon with each iteration. That being said, I think with Persona 5, any of the ships are canon. Any of the ships that you choose that you want to be canon is canon. And I think that's what's great about games like Persona 5, because it allows you the option of like, hey, I ship this. I may not ship this and this and that, but I think this ship is canon, and you know, it could be, right? So I debated on whether or not to put this on the W or the TBD list. By the way, this is the Persona 5 protagonist with Anne. The reason why I like Anne was because she reminds me very similar to another female character that I am a huge fan of, which is Nami. Like, if I had to choose a character that resembled very close to what Nami does in One Piece, it would be Anne. They are so similar to each other, it's actually kind of nuts. Now, like I said, I debated whether or not to put this on TBD or W. I will say this. I think this will be a free W. Simply just because, like I mentioned before, Persona 5 never actually confirms a canon ship. But any ship that you have chosen for Persona 5 that you enjoy is a canon, is a W at the end of the day, because that's just how these games work. So I'm going to give myself a W on this, just simply for the fact that that's my belief. If you ship Persona 5 protagonists with Makoto or Haru or just anybody, I think you should get a W as well. It's just one of those series where, like, yeah, I could put it as an open ending, but I think it will be fine to just put it as a W. I think this is just one of those things that any ship can become canon, so a W it is for me. All right, next ship would be Ash and Misty from the Pokemon anime. Now, here's the thing. Originally, Ash and Misty was supposed to become canon. I think after the first season, they were not supposed to be making any more Pokemon after that. There was no plans to, but Pokemon became so popular, so huge, that they decided to make a second season. To the point that after the first movie, they actually had a end credit scene where Ash and Misty did have a child. Now, whether or not they became canon, they don't specify it in the anime. Even after Ash's journey ended, they don't really necessarily specify. So I think at the end of the day, this is an open ending. So I will probably say this is a TBD because they never really confirmed whether or not they became canon or not. So that's why I cannot give myself a W in this, because again, there's another ship that did get something that Ash and Misty never got, which was a kiss. So it's one of those rare things that I can't give myself a W. It has to be a TBD because we don't know what the idea for the Band of Pokemon anime is. And I know people are going to be in the comment, if sometimes people will be in the comments trying to defend it, but at the end of the day, you can't really justify or 100% confirm it. If you believe it's canon, that's up to you. So if you want to take a W for that, it's up to you. For me, I just cannot justify it. I can only say as an open TBD, open ending, so that's why I put it as such. Next up would be Asta and Noelle from Black Clover. So Black Clover did end, and it unfortunately did not have any ship confirmation between Asta or Noelle or Mimosa. That being said, that doesn't mean that there won't be something in the near future where it will be confirmed. I just like Asta and Noelle very much because I just think they have a really strong bond with each other that is played out throughout the entire series. But I also like Asta and Mimosa. I just think Asta and Noelle just is stronger as a ship when you look at all the evidence that is compiled within the story. But since the manga ended and no ship was confirmed with Asta, this is unfortunately a TBD, so we will put that down as TBD. So TBD it is. Let's move on to the next ship. Batman and Catwoman. I mean, this one is essentially just a W because they become canon. If I had to guess, I would say Batman and Catwoman have become more canon, more iteration of Batman than any other ship with Batman. So that's why this is a W, because of the fact that they are canon in like a majority of the series. I just love the dynamic. I just love how they flirt with each other. They both are, they just both are equals with each other, you know? They complement each other so much. Their writing is so good. I just really like Batman and Catwoman. So I'll give myself a W for that. And I just there's so much I could say about this ship. I just don't want to waste too much time on this. So, you know, I don't want to make this a fucking 1 hour video. But yeah, Batman and Catwoman, yeah, really, really fun ship. Oh, Don Machi, aka Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Now, this is a harem series. I am not very good at judging harem series because of the way authors write harem series for the most part, because a lot of times it's usually first girl wins in a majority of the harem series. But this one, I like it a lot more than Belle and Hestia. Hestia just felt too clingy. That doesn't mean that I don't think Hestia really cares about Belle and that they don't have a great bond and that there's nothing romantic involved with them. I just found Hestia to be a little bit too clingy, and just like there's just back and forth between them, and I enjoy Belle's crush on Eyes a lot. And while nothing has been confirmed at all within the series, while in the light novels it's slowly showing you just a bunch of the girls getting eliminated, in terms not dying, but in terms of like their romance with Belle. I just think that whatever the author is planning on doing, I think his name is Fujimono-san. I could be wrong. I just think that Belle and Eyes, I just really enjoyed the ship. Nothing's confirmed, but the most recent, and Danmachi is ending really soon. The most recent story arc in the light novel does focus on Eyes and Belle, or at least Eyes' story, and we'll see exactly what happens between that. I don't know if the author's going to do anything, but for now, TBD for this one. I just really like the dynamic. I just really like the way Belle gets stronger because of his love for Eyes. It's just, I just find it really well. I know people will say something about Aiza's personality and stuff like that, but I just find them to be very cute together. All right, and so that's all it is. All right, next ship would be Bosun and Onizuka. Himeko, I think that's what her nickname is. She has a nickname. It's not really Onizuka, but she has a nickname. I totally forgot. It's been a while since I saw Sket Dance. But holy crap, they had a really great story arc about their romance, specifically from Onizuka's end, to the until they reached the point where it was a. This might go into spoilers territory, but it has been over for a while. But there's a moment where like she gets kidnapped and Bosun is there. And Bosun is not like the most athletic and most like combat type of person, but like he goes and saves her. It's so freaking good, like throughout it all. And the manga did end up being kind of an open ending where it never really got confirmed. However, there was a not recent, but like there was an illustration after Sket Dance ended where it showcased Bosun and Onizuka having wedding rings on their left hand. Yeah, wedding rings on their left hand. Now, this doesn't mean that they got married together. That being said, that is as close as a hint as you'll probably get. I'll give myself a W on this one because, frankly, there was one other girl that did have a crush on Bosun, but he rejected her. So I do think that they do become canon, so that's why I'm going to give myself a W. Next ship. Fire Emblem. Okay, so we're probably going to get through some of the Fire... No, we're not going to get through the Fire Emblem ships. But Fire Emblem ship number 1, Byleth and Eldogard. A lot of people do not like Eldogard. And I understand that. I perfectly understand that. Three Houses was a very mixed game for me. But I did enjoy Eldogard a lot. I like her design a lot. I think that's where most of my interest in like shipping her with the protagonist, which you get to ship, you get to choose whoever you want to ship with the protagonist. I don't know. I just really like Eldogard's design. I did like her story. I thought what her reasoning may have been a little harsh, but I thought it was the correct path for many different reasons. But I won't get too much. Fire Emblem, just like Persona 5, you can make any ship canon that you want, so I'll take this as a W. And like I said, any of the ships could become canon. I do not believe there is a canon ship in regards to any of the Fire Emblem characters, so I'll take that as a W. Clive and Joe. Oh my god. Final Fantasy 16, Clive and Joe. From childhood friends to lovers. One of the greatest tropes of all time. It is by far such a favorite trope of mine. Clive and Joe was just so fantastic with the way they care about each other, the way they had each other's backs, the way Jill defended Clive after years of torment from his son of a bitch mother. Just overall, they're spawned well together. They're great, just romantically together. Oh my god, I could just gush over it. Like I said, this is good. This will be too long of a video if I gush over every single ship, but they become canon, so I'll take that as a W. Woohoo! Let's move on. So a lot of people, Final Fantasy VII, Cloud and Tifa. A lot of people will be really upset over me for this because they ship another ship that happens in Final Fantasy VII that they claim is canon. I'm going to give myself a W on this one because after playing the OG, after seeing what's going on with the remake project, they are canon. Like AC tells me they are canon. I don't care what anyone even tries to say about it. I think they're canon. If you want Cloud and Eve to be canon, that's on you. I'm not even going to argue with you. But I'm going to take this as a W. Cloud and Tifa are canon. AC showcases it. Everything about the game showcases it. Cloud and Tifa are canon. Let's move on because I know this would be disputed a lot if I go over and rant about it. Alright, here we go. Here's another Fire Emblem ship. This is Corrin and Camilla. I mean, there's not really much substance. In this Fire Emblem game, it wasn't one of my favorites, but there's not much substance in regards to the ship. I just think Camilla was freaking hot. I mean, like, thick. That's really the only reason why I shipped them. Fire Emblem, just like Persona 5 and the other Fire Emblem game we did, any of the ships can become canon. There's no specific canon ship in regards to any of the Fire Emblem Emblem games. So whoever you want the ship to be, that is your ship. Although I do think one Fire Emblem ship is canon, but I don't remember which one it was. But yep, that not much substance, not much reasoning behind this one. Drake and Elena from Uncharted. Their bond and their growth throughout all 4 games is so fascinating to explore and see. Like the first game, they didn't know each other that well. They were a reporter and he was just trying to find a treasure. And they grow together, they bond together, they fall in love together. Just like, she grounds him so much. It's just such a good ship. This ship becomes canon, so another win for me. I just love their dynamic overall in the whole 4 games. Such great writing for a ship. Sorry, excuse me. Ed and Winry. Well, not much to say. Ed and Winry was by far from Fullmetal Alchemist a really great ship. Like, holy hell, childhood friend trope to lovers. Just not much. What else can I say? Just go read Fullmetal Alchemist to see a really good romance blossom between these 2 characters. It is just so good. Like, holy crap. Everything about it is just so well written. I highly recommend it if you've never seen Fullmetal Alchemist. And if you haven't, it's one of the greatest animes of all time. Like, whether you watch the original or Brotherhood, it's one of the greatest animes of all time. But yeah, Ed and Winry, fantastic. I fucking love them. Not much more to say. They became canon at the end. They even have a precious kid. I mean, what else can I say, What else can I fucking say about this ship? This ship is just so goddamn good. So well written. Oh my goodness. Alright, next up. Okay, this one's a little like, I don't know how to like essentially describe this ship, because this ship is essentially just it's a little weird in the very beginning because the step siblings and stuff like that, even though technically they're not related. The ending to this for Eren Mikasa from Attack on Titan is still... The ending to Attack on Titan is still salty to me. I did not like the ending whatsoever. Do I count this as a win for them? I don't know. Honestly, I really have no idea. Like, I'm really debating on whether or not I should just put this under TBD, because it's just like, I don't know. Like, I guess it became canon because Eren does confess to Mikasa. And Mikasa always had feelings for Eren. I don't know. I mean, what do I have down here on my notes? I don't know. This is one of those weird ships. I don't know. Yeah, I have yes question mark. So it's like, I guess they did become canon because no. Well, no, because technically the ending did have Mikasa end up with, what's his name, John? This is one of the weird ones. I have no idea what to put this now. But because Eren dies and Mikasa does end up with somebody else, I'm going to take this as an L. I'll put this as an L. Yes, they do confess, but at the same time, he dies, so it's like, it doesn't become canon because he's dead. You can't become a canon ship even one of the ships is fucking dead. Or, you could say it is canon. This is one of those weird ones. I'll put down this as an L simply just because it's one of the weird ones. I have nothing else to say. I did like their dynamic and the ship itself, but like, I don't know. I don't know how to rate this. If you want to rate it as a W for you, that's fine with me. To me, I can't give a W to a ship where one of the characters is dead and the other character moves on to fall in love with another character from the series. I don't know. Genji and Mercy. Oh, from Overwatch. So, I don't know if this story is true, but initially they were supposed to be romantically linked. But I think ever since the previous Overwatch team or like some of the previous writers from Overwatch decided to leave. I believe they're moving away from it. Like there's been certain lines and certain stuff in some of the dialogues and some of the things that they've written within the Overwatch lore that kind of pointed to Genji and Mercy, but I think they're moving away from it. That being said, I fucking love Genji and Mercy as a ship. I thought that was fantastic. I thought, you know, Mercy being Genji's savior and Genji doing everything he needed to do to realize that it's okay for him to be as he is now, and that he falls in love with Mercy because of like the way she saved him. I just really enjoyed that dynamic. I'll put this as TBD because I don't know. Like I don't know if like their plan is to make this ship canon anymore, or the ship we will never even know if the ship will ever become canon unless it shows up in a story somewhere. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it. All right, moving on. Gintama. Gintoki no Tai. So I really enjoyed the dynamic. It reminded me a lot of Luffy Nami's dynamic. A lot. And while I did enjoy the ship, I do not believe any ship from Gintama ever became canon. So I think I'll take this as an L. Yes, it left it as an open ending, but I do not believe there was anything going to be linked between them at all. So I'll take this ship as an L, just because it just did not become canon. There was no hints or anything from the movies that they became canon, and just didn't really seem like they were going to become canon regardless. So I'll take this as an L. I'll take it as an L. I'm a big boy. I can handle an L. Alright, moving on to the next ship. Oh. Speaking of massive L's. Yes, I was a Harry Hermione shipper. I just thought that their bond was so freaking good. I thought they were going to become canon so much, and that Ron's feelings for Hermione and all that would become, well, it'll be like a love triangle, and eventually it'll be concluded in some sort of like thing. But J.K. Rowling decided not to do that, and it disappointed me. Although it did not disappoint me in a way as strongly as some other ships I took an L for, and that's mostly because at some point I just no longer was huge on Harry Potter. I just wanted to see how it ended if Harry and Hermione got together. They did not. I just find it also funny that J.K. Rowling came out and admitted that she made a mistake, but whatever. It's like, it's over. I don't care anymore. It became one of those ships where like I had a period of time where I was very fascinated by it and really enjoyed the dynamic, but it just did not become canon, so that is an L for me. So it is what it is. It is what it is. What am I gonna do? Oh, I'm just taking massive L's today right now. Holy shit. Hayate and Hayate the combat butler, Hayate Hinagiku. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I have a terrible job at judging harem series, because harem series, while they are romantic, they're not great romances. There's some that are, but they're not great. They're not great in terms of, what I mean by that is that they fool people into believing that this ship will happen, and when it doesn't, it just feels like, what the fuck, man. And this is not just like with the canon ship, it just overall, it just feels like your entire life just gets drained because the author for the harem series decided to go a route that's just like, why? That makes no sense. Why? And this is one of those ships. They did not become canon. It sucked because they were really goddamn good. They had such a great relationship. They had such a great bond. I thought they would become canon. I really did, and they did not. And it just frustrated me. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Hayate ended up in Nagi, if I'm not mistaken, because the manga did end. I don't remember, which is weird in its own way. I mean, he technically stays as her butler, but like at the same time, I think they got confirmed. I don't know. All I know is this is an L. This is another L, and it just pains me because I really love Hayate Hinagiku's relationship throughout this series. Oh god damn it, this sucks. I Harem series are one of my guilty pleasures, but I cannot judge them romantically because the authors do some weird things with them. Next up, Hiccup and Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon. Well, this ship became canon. It was pretty obvious it became canon. But let me tell you, I really enjoyed this ship so much. It was just so good. The way it was written, the way they, they bonded over Hiccup's goal to try to befriend the dragons and try to create a new life for him and his people. It's just overall just so good and so well written. It's just I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite movie ships, book ships, I guess you could also put. It's so good. It is just so good. All right, next. Domestic Girlfriend. I have a love and hate relationship with this goddamn series. I hated most of it because, and I've read the author's previous works. The author tends to really take some of the drama just beyond what it needs to be and just oversaturates the drama to the point where it just becomes annoying. And I just did not enjoy. It did not need to be that long. I'm talking about the manga. And it did not need to be that long with all that drama that was built around it. It just felt so dragging. I get it. Like, the chase is always more, fun than, any ship become canon. But I did think that this ship, Fuji and Hina, was by far my favorite. But they became canon, so I'll take it as a W. I mean, I'm like, at some point, this series just dried out for me. I just stopped reading and caring about it. I only cared about what happened at the end, and they became canon. I don't know how. I don't know exactly how, because I didn't go back and reread it because I did not want it. It just kept dragging. All I know is that they became canon, and I'll take it as a W. I was happy about it, but at the same time, I was like, all right, whatever. All right, next. Ichihime from Bleach. Ichigo and Orihime. One of my favorite ships of all time. I just loved the dynamic between them. I just got a good sense of like romantic vibes from them. Just not only Orihime's crush, but the way he was gentle with Orihime, the way he spoke softly to her, and the way he treated her compared to, like, let's say Rukia or any other characters that people were shipping Ichigo with. There was just a sense of care that I really enjoyed from Ichigo's side that he rarely shows. Like with Rukia, he did show like his gentle side, but he's also kind of like, you almost have like a sibling like energy with her, and it just, but they weren't siblings. They didn't have like the sibling energy. They were not siblings. They were not lovers. They were like in between. They were like basically if you had a girl best friend. If you were a guy and you had a girl best friend, and you guys would dig around and all that stuff, without like those romantic feelings going beyond that. I don't know, but I just love their dynamic. I just love Orihime is so good. She is so fantastic. I just love this ship so much, and I'm glad that she's getting a lot more highlights from what I heard from the recent Bleach episode that premiered in like theaters or something like that. So, the W. Ichihime was fantastic. All right. Next up would be Tekken. I mean, all the Tekkens, I guess. Jin and I do tend to pronounce the name wrong. Xiaoyu. I pronounce her name wrong all the time, and it's mostly because I don't know how to pronounce the X in Mandarin or Chinese, whatever the language it is. I apologize for that. But I did enjoy like their bond and their relationship. Like, she really cares about Jin and wants the best for him. Like, you just feel this romantic connection with them if you play through the Tekken lore. And they not have been confirmed at all. So this is more of a TBD. We don't know exactly what will happen, but I think there's clearly something there between them, and it's just so sweet. It is just so. she's just so sweet and just really wants the best for Jin. Fantastic. All right, next. Oh, Cyborg 009. Cyborg 009 is a really old anime. If you want a chance to go watch it, it is a legendary anime. I highly recommend it. Cyborg 009 is just so freaking good. Think Mega Man a little bit. It's very similar to Mega Man in a lot of ways, but it's just so freaking good. Their ship, Francois and Joe. Yes, his name is Joe. But their ship is just so freaking awesome, wholesome, so good. Oh, the way they care about each other, the way they connect with each other, their writing, everything about, they're just so good. It was one of my earliest ships that I really enjoyed so much. I highly recommend you checking out if you really like a good romance. It is just so wholesome and good. I could gush over it. I highly recommend it. It is just so good. They became canon. They fantastic. I again highly recommend it. Go watch. There's the earliest anime series does not really delve deep into their relationship because I think they wanted there was some reason for it. But if you check out some of the animated series and the movie that's on Netflix, you will love their relationship so much. It is so good. All right, next up would be Kiryu and Kaoru from Yakuza. I love their relationship. It's the Yakuza with the policewoman. They bond together. They have these emotional feelings and these emotional connections with each other. It is really good the way they handle the relationship between them in Yakuza 2. I highly recommend playing Yakuza 2 if you like shipping and you have the one side of a Yakuza and the one side of the police force falling in love with each other, kind of like Romeo and Juliet, kind of a little bit. I highly recommend this one. It is so good. Unfortunately, while they do kiss, they don't necessarily end up together, but there is still mutual feelings, so who knows if they're going to do something with it. Probably not, with the way the story is going. So I'll put it as a TBD. But yeah, I highly recommend it if you really enjoy, really like at other end, like Romeo and Juliet type of stories, specifically for Yakuza 2. Oh god, another harem series that I still, well, technically, here's the thing with harem series, I can kind of get where the author's going, but at the same time, it's just like, to me, sometimes the author creates a much better and much more emotionally growing relationship between the other characters than the main one that they're choosing to. But this is from Yuna the Hot Springs, I think. That's the name of it. I don't remember the full name of it. Yuna and the Hot Springs. This is Kogarashi and Miyazaki. Chisaki, I think her Chisaki Miyazaki. Let me tell you something. There was an arc in this series where it just devastated me because it basically told me it was never going to become canon. But the worst part is that the author made her see that her feelings and her relationship with fucking Kogarashi was never going to happen. She saw it with her own eyes because it would mean one of her closest friends and the main girl of the series will never cease to exist or something like that, and she had to live through that and realize that their relationship could never blossom. It was so heartbreaking to see that. It was one of the cruelest things I ever seen in a harem series, let me tell you that much. But they did not become canon at the end of the day. I just really love their bond. I just really love their relationship. It was just so good, but unfortunately didn't happen. Next up, Kuroko and Momoi. Kuroko and Momoi from Kuroko no Basket. Momoi had a crush on Kuroko. I think Kuroko, from what I can understand, that he really respects Momoi and probably has feelings for her, but he doesn't show it. But there's no other ship in Kuroko that really would be fit for like Kuroko anyway. I know there's another ship for Momoi. I forgot what the Aoyama or something like that people really enjoy. It was the childhood friend trope. I just found Kuroko and Momoi to be very cute, so that's why I have them. TBD, nothing confirmed yet in regards to it, but she has a crush on him, and it's very cute. It's a very cute crush, but TBD. Next, Ada and Leon from Resident Evil. Now, I mentioned this before in my shipping in Resident Evil video. I don't have a personal favorite ship in terms of like one I would die for. I think a lot of Resident Evil ships are really fun and really cool, really good, except for Leon and Sherry. I thought that idea was bananas that people suggested. I just think that Ada and Leon have the best dynamic within all the Resident Evil ships, so that's why I put them here. Yeah, I just think that they are canon. Their entire story is, you know, the good justice police cop and the femme fatale, you know, Romeo Juliet side of like terrorism. I guess bioweapon terrorism. I guess I just really enjoy their bond, and it definitely seems like that's where they're leading to in terms of Resident Evil ships. For this one, I think, if I'm not mistaken, did I put TBD? Yeah, TBD, because we don't know exactly if they actually become canon. So it is TBD for now. But I just think that out of all the ships in Resident Evil, I think this is the closest one to actually being canon. All right, next, Link and Zelda. So Link and Zelda is a very interesting one from Legend of Zelda, because there are some Legend of Zeldas that I ship Link and Zelda, others I do not. I chose Skyward Sword because I thought Skyward Sword had by far the best relationship and emotional growth and emotional romantic bonding of any of the Zelda games between Link and Zelda. You could argue Breath of the Wild, but I just think this one had the best written one in terms of actual romance between Link and Zelda. So that's why I have this one. They did become canon because clearly they did. There's no question about it. This is one of the few Zelda games where Link and Zelda do actually be confirmed to become canon. It's just so good. The writing for Skyward Sword is a very mixed bag game, but I thought the relationship between Link and Zelda was so well written in it. But yeah, moving on. Lloyd and Colette from Tales of Symphonia. My God, Tales of Symphonia was the first Tales game I ever played, and let me tell you, Lloyd and Colette was just so god darn adorable, so wholesome, just so good. Like, just overall, everything about their relationship, their bond, how protective he is of her, how caring and nice she is, and really cared about Lloyd. Just overall, my God, if you never played a Tales game, I highly recommend Tales of Symphonia, and their relationship is just so goddamn good. So good. They became canon. It's just, oh my God. 165 wins. I wish. But yeah, I highly recommend Tales of Symphonia if you really want a good shipping Tales game. There are other Tales games that have good shipping as well, but like this one really takes the cake. It really is good. Alright, moving on. Mario and Peach from Super Mario Brothers. Regardless of what Nintendo said a couple years ago, where they said Mario and Peach are just friends, they're not really lovers. No, you're kidding. You're the only person you're lying to is yourselves, Nintendo. Clearly, Mario and Peach are, you know, the main ship. Clearly, you're just avoiding putting them together for some, I guess, if I had to guess, because you don't want them in a relationship, because you just want them to stay as friends for marketing purposes. But like, it's clear as day. You're even trying to do that shit in the movie, so it's like, yeah, this is a W for me. Like, there's no question about it. Like, come on, I don't care what Nintendo says in regards to that. It's so stupid. But yeah, moving on. Mega Man and Roll from Battle Network. Now, Battle Network is by far my favorite Mega Man series, and I just loved the relationship between Mega Man and Roll. Like, it's clear as day they had a thing for each other, as well as Lan and Melu. Like, just overall, throughout the entire series, they clearly had a thing for each other. It was very sweet. It was very cute. I highly enjoyed the Battle Network series, and it was just so good. This is a W because, once again, they did become canon. At least Lan and Melu became canon, but it's clearly, if they became canon, Mega Man and Roll definitely did become canon as well. So I'll take it as a W, and yeah, highly recommend if you really want something like a really cute ship to just enjoy in your free time. All right, next up. Quintessential quintuplets. Miku, still best girl even to this day. Still ship her with the main character, whose name for some strange reason keep forgetting what his name was. Futaro. That's what it is. Let me tell you, this was a massive L for me. I really thought the author was gonna go for it, and he lied. He tricked people, saying it's not gonna be the first girl he meets, but he fucking tricked people, because technically the first of the sisters he meets was not Yotsuba. It was what's her name? I forgot what her name is. That's how distressed I was about this entire scenario. But in the flashback during the childhood, he does meet Yotsuba first, so technically it is the first girl he meets. I'm not gonna go too far, but this was a massive L for me, and a lot of Miku fans. Miku is by far best girl for me. Like, you have no idea how disappointed most of us were in regards to this. You had to be there. But yeah, I don't want to be too much on it, but Natsu and Lucy from Fairy Tail, the ship that is canon, but technically it is not, because the author just does not want to confirm it for whatever fucking reason. I'm gonna take this as a W, because it's clear as day they're gonna become canon. Like, there's no. I'm gonna take it as a W. I don't like, the author is still going through this whole thing where, like, oh, they're not friends, but they're more than friends, but not lovers. Bullshit. No, it's clear as day they have feelings for each other. He even says that Natsu has feelings for Lucy. Like, just make them canon. Stop beating around the bush and just make them canon. Jesus Christ already. Next. Raphtalia and Naofumi. If I remember correctly, and this might be a spoiler, I think, because I don't think they covered this in the anime, they are canon. They are canon. They are in a relationship as of now, I believe, in the light novels. But they are so adorable. It is a little weird from the very beginning, but then again, Raphtalia does age a little bit differently. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. In general, it's just weird. But they clearly, the way that Raphtalia was able to calm Naofumi down after all the betrayal stuff, and that she was there for him, that despite everything that he thought that, Raphtalia was also going to betray him, she stepped up and told him no, she was not. She was there for him. That overall just won me over for them as a ship, and it was just so well written. Definitely high key. I don't know. I do think this is a really good ship. I don't know. Did I put down the W? I don't remember if I put down the W. I'll fix it later on. But yeah, Raphtalia and Naofumi did become canon, and I believe they're in a relationship in the light novels right now. And yeah, so good. My first massive L that I ever gotten ever from a shonen big series. I was a Naruto Sakura shipper because I enjoy Naruto's crush on Sakura, and I thought at the time when I was shipping them, at some point I just stopped caring and didn't care who won, because I just fell out of Naruto. I thought that it was also a time period where I thought Naruto, who had a crush on Sakura, deserved to be with the person he had a crush on. They had a great relationship. I know a lot of people tend to go to like the hitting and all that stuff, but I just really enjoyed the relationship and the idea that they become canon. I just found it to be extremely difficult for me to really stay with the ship and just stay with the series in general, simply just because the author did not have a good sense of writing romance, and you could clearly see it, and it's just it was a massive L for me. But like at the same time, it was just, I did not enjoy the romance writing at all at some point, and it just, I don't know, whatever. I took an L on this. It's fine. Oh, speaking of massive W's, Deku and Ochako, despite what so many Baku Deku shippers believe, they did become canon. And Deku and Ochako from My Hero Academia just recently became canon. It was such a great ending to their character arcs between each other, and just everything about it was so sweet, so wholesome. Just overall, like their relationship throughout the entire series was really well taken care of, well written, and just overall very fun to see them grow together. It was just so much fun. Master W, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way he put them together at closer to the final chapters. Just really well written. Just really good job. Really good job. Moving on. Peter Parker and MJ. What's more to say than Peter Parker and MJ are basically canon in almost every single iteration of Spider-Man. Not every, but mostly every single iteration. Peter's, crush on MJ. MJ's strength for like whenever Peter needs her there to be there for him for an emotional growth. Yes, there's a little ups and downs, but what relationship isn't? And I think that's important to have in any sort of relationship. There will be ups and downs, but clearly this is canon in most, so I'll take it as a W. I just love Spider-Man. I just love Peter and MJ's relationship in a lot of the series, so fantastic. Alright, Nisekoi. Barako and Onodetto. Let me tell you one thing. This was one of the biggest L's I ever gotten in my shipping life. I swear to you, I was extremely pissed off when this ship didn't become canon, because I'm sorry for the image is small. I couldn't find a bigger image because Google Images sucks ass. But let me tell you something. I to this day do not understand how two characters who had crushes on each other since they were freaking kids all of a sudden lose those feelings by introducing another girl who the main character did not have feelings for when they were young, and all of a sudden have feelings for. I don't like that type of writing, because I think that just showcases a lot of, hey, I like this girl much better, so I'm gonna make them end up together. That's just my opinion of it. It was my opinion of it back then. I don't care anymore. I really do not care anymore. That was just how I felt back then. Regardless of what my feelings are for the series now, this was a massive L for me. One of the biggest L's in shipping I ever took. But I could go on a rant, which I'm not going to. Moving on. Ran and Shinichi from Detective Conan. This is a canon ship. They have been canon for quite a while now, I believe. I believe they're boyfriend and girlfriend now. But, yep, I really like the dynamic. They really care for each other. Childhood friend to lovers trope is just so wholesome, just so sweet. I freaking love this ship so much, man. I don't know when Detective Conan is going to end, but the moments where they have together where, Shinichi is no longer Conan, it's just so wholesome and so sweet. I freaking love it. Ran is such a great female character. Well written, just overall, just fantastic. Oh, man. Next. One of my favorite ships that became canon in recent memory, and the way it was written, the way it was taken care of was so freaking good. This is Rin and Shiemi from Blue Exorcist. If you want to see how a love triangle, while it may not be the most blatant love triangle, it was a love triangle involved in this situation. If you want to see how a good love triangle is handled, check out how Rin and Shiemi become canon, because let me tell you, that is how you really write a conclusion to a love triangle, where you end up with one canon pairing. I will tell you this, it is just really well written overall. They were cute, they were so great, and just, Rin being the son of the devil, and Shiemi showcasing that their bond and their growth and their emotional connection is just so strong that she doesn't care that he's the son of a devil, that she knows who Rin is on the inside, and that's who she cares for, that's who she loves. Just so really good. I highly recommend it. Definitely check out Blue Exorcist if you have the chance. I don't know if I did this, but another W for me. Alright, let's move on to Tularu, Orito and Haruna. Here's the thing with me, Tularu, I did not mind any ship, because Rito's relationship with a lot of the female characters in Tularu is all great. They're all fantastic. I don't really have like a big favorite. I don't really care if he ends up with Lala or Haruna or whoever, because at the end of the day, they're all really good. Like I really even enjoyed Rito and Yui's relationship. Um, To Love Ru does have Rito falling in love with both Haruna and Lala, if I remember from To Love Ru Darkness ending. But there's nothing confirmed. There's nothing that defines which ship became canon. And I believe the author of it even stated that To Love Ru is not technically over. They just don't know when they're gonna go and do To Love Ru again. But it's definitely not over, and I'm very curious to see if they ever do go back to it, see how they handle that kind of stuff. But TBD, because we don't know exactly who Rito will eventually end up with anyway. And for all we know, it could be a harem ending. That could also be possible. Next. The other, I think this is the last one. Robin and Lucina. I really enjoy and a huge fan of Lucina as a character. I thought she's freaking great. And of course, when I played the game, because I really enjoyed Lucina in general, I put her put her with the protagonist. Really great. I really enjoyed their little conversations that they have. Just like with other Fire Emblem series, you could pick whoever character you want and they become technically canon if you want them to be. So, yep, I really enjoy Lucina and Robin. Alright, next. From K-pop Demon Hunters, Rumi and Gino, I believe. Like I said, I'm terrible with names. Yes, Rumi and Gino. Yes, Rumi and Gino. I just really loved how their relationship has been throughout the entire movie. And you could see that connection grow, you know, him being a demon and her being half demon, and them essentially finding each other and finding like the purpose between each other, being like how they understood each other and just seeing their relationship grow. Just fantastic. It was really well handled in the movie. Highly recommend K-pop Demon Hunters if you have not seen it. But they did not become canon because Gino did die. So we're going to keep it as TBD simply just because we don't know if he actually did die. We'll find out in the sequel. But I'll put it as TBD. Next up, Chun-Li and Ryu from Street Fighter. Now, I love Chun-Li and Ryu as a ship. I really enjoyed their relationship that they have. They are so close to each other. I don't know if Street Fighter creators meant it to be romantic, but here you could see them go on a shopping trip to find new clothes for Ryu in Street Fighter 6, one of the story endings, I think. I just thought that I don't know, I just like them a lot. Are they canon? No. Is it open ending? I don't know if I should put this as an open ending because, like, I'll probably say, I'll probably put it down as no. I'll probably take it as a no because technically they are not canon. They could become canon eventually at some point, but as of now they are not canon. So I'll put it down as a L. Senna and Suzuna, I think, from iShow 21. iShow 21 is a really old American football anime. I highly recommend it. It's created by the guy who is currently doing One Punch Man. I forgot what his name was. But it was created by him or drawn by him. It was actually him and an author. But it was drawn by him. Senna and Suzuna had such a very fun and wholesome relationship. I really enjoyed it. Like, she was so free-spirited, and Senna was, you know, one of those characters where, like, he's always a nervous wreck. But when he puts on the football helmet and he runs really quickly, he all of a sudden becomes a different character. And their bond is so cute. Their bond is so great. While technically the ending of the manga didn't have them become canon, there are very much big hints that they did become canon. Granted, also, this was the only ship available. This was the only ship between Senna, the main character in general. So, yep, I'll take it as a W because I do believe they did become canon. Next up, Shepard and Miranda from Mass Effect. So, this one is, I really enjoyed Shepard and Miranda's relationship in Mass Effect 2 and I believe Mass Effect 3. I do not believe any of these ships become canon because of the way Mass Effect 1 goes, 2 and 3. None of the ships actually remain canon throughout the story unless you ship all three, those same three characters in all the games. But the ending of Mass Effect 3 kind of ruins any ship. So I think I'll take this as a massive L, simply just because nothing happens from it. Next up, let's see what we have. Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask, whose name I do not remember. The actual guy's name. I don't remember what his name is. I know her name is Usagi. It's been a while. I should have done research on it, but I don't care enough. Just know that Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask, they become canon. They are by far one of the most canon ships you could ever have canon in anime history. So they are canon as hell. I just enjoy like the back and forth that they have with not only them and their superhero personas, but also their relationship as their normal selves, and just the way Tuxedo Mask was coming to save Sailor Moon whenever she needed help. And there were times where Sailor Moon even saved Tuxedo Mask. I think overall, in general, they had a really wonderful relationship, and really, I thought it was really well written. So, yep. Next. Sonic and Amy from Sonic the Hedgehog. While technically they never do become canon, it's clear as day they are the canon ship of Sonic the Hedgehog. And even Sonic, despite the fact he showcases that he's not really interested in Amy, he is. He has a soft spot for Amy that's different from any of the other characters, and it's clear as day they are canon. I mean, no other ship is technically viable in Sonic the Hedgehog, if I'm not mistaken, so they are definitely canon. I'll take that as a W. So really, I really just enjoy their relationship throughout the games. I know Amy can be a little overbearing, a little clingy, but she is very kind, she's very sweet, and Sonic does notice this, and he does respect her a lot, and he does protect her a lot, and you know, he cares for her a lot, and that's, I think, is very sweet, especially for someone like Sonic, you know. All right, moving on. Sora and Kairi, they are canon as hell. They are canon as hell, and their bond throughout the 3 Kingdom Hearts games is just so good. Oh man, I really enjoy their bond, their relationship. It is a little PG, you know, but overall, like, their bond, the way they care about each other, the way they like really feel for each other, their emotional growth, their emotional bonding throughout the entire Kingdom Hearts series, just really goddamn good. Just really well written. I enjoy Sora and Kairi a lot. Definitely a big W, especially after Kingdom Hearts 3. Fucking love it. Can't wait to see what happens in Kingdom Hearts 4. Next. Okay, this is from Food Wars. This is Soma and Megumi. Right? Megumi, yes. Megumi. Let me tell you something about this Megumi. Sorry, not Megumi. Let me tell you something about this ship. I have no issues with Soma. I don't know. I had no issues with taking an L on this. What my main issue is, the author's audacity to completely remove the relationship that they had that was looking very much like it was going to lead to something romantic. They literally forgot about the events of a fucking chapter where it showcased Megumi having feelings for Soma. They completely disregarded it. It didn't even show up in the anime. They completely just retconned it. It was just baffling to see. I know people who say, well, no, that's not what they did, blah, blah, blah. No, they retconned it. Because there was a moment where she talks about, or they have a little chat, like, oh, do you have anyone that you like, Megumi? And she said, no, she doesn't. I'm like, what the fuck was chapter 61 then? I have an issue with the author just completely retconning it because of a second to last decision. Maybe he didn't want to, maybe he wanted to make it perfectly clear that that's not what they were going. I don't know. But you just completely disregarded those feelings and just didn't do anything with them, to the point where like Megumi was just like, no, not really. I don't have any, romantic feelings for anybody. I'm like, no, that is a lie. They completely retconned it. That's my rant. But it's a massive L for me. Like I said, I didn't mind somewhat. I don't know. because I thought that was also a fantastic ship. I just was pissed off with the way they retconned this shit. But whatever. Moving on. Superman and Lois. I mean, one of the most iconic ships, most iconic pairings of all time. They are canon in majority of the series. I will say also I do like Superman and Wonder Woman a lot, but Superman and Lois is by far like top tier. It is just so well written, just overall so great of a ship. It's just, just the way Superman is. You know, there's like, you know, there's what is it? Eagle Scout, Boy Scout, and Lois is more like the adventurers and more like the what's it called? Not adventurers, but like she is, you know, she takes action. She doesn't hesitate. If she wants something, she goes gets it. That's what makes their dynamic so well, is because someone like that works really well with a character like Superman. Just so good. Clark, oh my god, one of my favorite ships. All right, that is a W. Let's move on to Tai and Sora from Digimon. This is a case of a ship being completely created and caused so many innocent shippers to be fooled by the decisions of an American dub, because the original Japanese dialogue writing did not have them at all be romantically connected in the Japanese dub, in the Japanese dialogue. But for some reason, it was Saban who decided to make Tai and Sora into like more romantic, where it was not there at all. The mistranslation stuff, oh my god, I was fooled completely. And when Sora and Matt became canon, I was like, what the how did this happen? It's because we were fooled by Saban and the English dub. They created this narrative of Sora and Tai being closer in a really big relationship, or like shipping wise, and they did not happen, and it just ruined a lot of shippers. It just made that is a great way for you to fuck over a lot of shippers. The other way is making two characters that people ship together all of a sudden become related in some sort of way. I'm sorry for Detective Conan fans who were really into Shinichi and Kaito Kid, but yet one of the worst things that happened to me, one of the worst L's I ever received, and it wasn't even fucking my fault. It was fucking the dub that fooled me. I was tricked. I have never felt more betrayed. Alright, moving on. Tanjiro and what was her name again? I really need to do a better job of remembering people's names. Tanjiro and Kanao. The way Kanao's start from Demon Slayer, it was like, you know, this person who like didn't really know how to go about her life without someone telling her what to do, and then Tanjiro slowly brings her out of her shell, brings her out into the world of having her own freedom, having her own making her own decisions and stuff like that. Was just so good. Tanjiro is a wholesome individual who brought out the ability for Kanao to really showcase who she actually is, and her own freedom, just so well written. Really like this ship a lot, really do. Just so good. Genshin Impact, Traveler and Ayaka. This is one of those series, like I mentioned before, where it is written in a way where like it's not meant to be romantic, but there are romantic hints, specifically when you choose the male or female version of the Traveler. There's also hints sprinkled throughout the game, but it's one of those things where like none of the ships become canon. I'll put it as a TBD just because you never know what the developers do, but I just like Traveling Ayaka so much. I thought it's so sweet, and like their bond is so great, and just Ayaka's such a great character. I really like Ayaka so much. But it's one of those. Genshin Impact is one of those series where like you don't know if it will ever become canon, but you can ship if you want. Next, wow, Suna and Kyoko from Hitman Reborn. I heard rumors that they're gonna remake Hitman Reborn as an anime, so I'm excited for that. But Reborn, if you haven't ever watched Reborn, it's a really good series. It does kind of get messy at the end. Not messy, but it just doesn't hit well at the end like most shonen series. But I really enjoyed Suna and Kyoko's relationship. Suna has a crush on Kyoko, and Kyoko is oblivious to his feelings, but they have such a nice and sweet bond. And despite the embarrassing things that happen to Suna in front of Kyoko, and she just laughs it off. She just finds him funny, and she doesn't hold any like bad feelings, and it's just a really sweet. Unfortunately, none of the two ships between Suna do happen, so it's a TBD. It's an open ending. We don't know if that will change at all. But I just really like Suna and Kyoko a lot. Next, Venom Snake. I think Venom Snake and Quiet. Metal Gear Solid 5 was my first Metal Gear Solid game I ever played, and I really, really enjoyed this ship. Quiet, who was an enemy against Venom Snake, slowly became, a huge ally for him. It was so sweet, and she's mostly quiet throughout the game, mostly because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's a virus or something like that if you speak a certain language or if you speak something, you spread the virus to other people. Quiet I believe had that virus, which is why she always stayed quiet. But there was a moment where Snake gets knocked out, and she calls for help, and she finally speaks to get him to rescue him. Oh my god, so well written. It's just so good. Highly recommend Metal Gear Solid 5. It's really good. I just finished playing Metal Gear Solid 3 with Snake and Eva, which is also freaking great. But I just really like Snake and Quiet so much. For the record, different snakes. But yeah, just so good. Oh my god. Don't worry about that. That's TBD. Yugi and Taya from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi and Taya, I believe, are canon because of there's so many hints. Like I believe the ancient pharaoh also had someone who he was romantically linked to that looked like Taya. It's clear as day that Taya was going to be the romantic interest to Yugi. They even go on a date, even though she did go on a date with the pharaoh. But I think in the manga, it's a lot more explicit that they do become canon. I just really enjoyed their relationship watching Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger. And yeah, I believe they do become canon. I just thought it's so good. Just so goddamn good. Yuna and Titus. I say Titus, but it's technically Titus. Oh my god. Final Fantasy X was my first Final Fantasy game I ever played. Their relationship is one of the biggest reasons why I became such a huge shipper. This is by far one of my favorite ships of all time. It is just so good, so wholesome, just so many things that happen within this ship, within the whole story that just blows my mind, just how good it is written, man. Oh my god. If you never played Final Fantasy X, I think it's not only one of the best starting Final Fantasy games for you to play. If you want to see a really well written ship, Titus and Yuna, yes, you will fall in love with Titus and Yuna so freaking much. It is just so good. They become canon. Let me tell you something. So good. Especially their big romantic moment in the Macalania Woods. Highly recommend it. And Yusei and Akiza from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is a weird one because, they play Yu-Gi-Oh! On motorcycles. But one of the big reasons why I became a fan of it was because of this ship. This ship is so fucking good. Like, Akiza was possessed. I forgot what she was possessed by, but she was possessed and Yusei rescued her. It's one of those tropes where, like, the main character rescues the girl from her evil ways or some sort of evil possession and frees her from, like, this cage that she was in. And
he rescues her, and she starts falling in love with him. She starts having feelings for him, and it just throughout the entire series, their bond is just so great. They go on, they sometimes go on dates. She gets flustered. Just overall so great. She does try to confess to him in the last episode, but then she holds back because I guess she doesn't want to ruin the relationship that they do have. And it does sadden me that technically that means that it is an open ending, but it's technically clear that this was going to be the ship for them. I'm thinking of putting it as TBD, but you know what? Nah. It's a W because they do. I think there's no other ship that makes sense for them at all, and I do think they become canon. I believe that is the last ship I have here. Yes, it is. So that was my shipping W, TBD, and L list. Like I said, it's not every ship that I ever shipped ever. It is just the ones I could come up with at the top of my mind and write down in my notes. But like, holy shit. I am at 34 wins, 14 TBDs, and 13 losses. That is actually not that bad. That is actually really goddamn a good record. I believe if I do the math on top of my head, I believe that is a 75% clip. Let me just do the math. That is not the right math. 34. Wait, what? That's not right. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Oh, do I have to... Why can I not do this math? Oh, that's why. I'm an idiot. Holy shit. 34 plus 34, 47. 47 divided by 13. No, not 13. I can't do math. Like I said, I am a dumbass. No, what the fuck? Why can't I not do this math? 47. Why can't I not do this math? I don't know why I cannot do this math, but it's 75%. I have it 75. I have it here at like 76%. Yeah, I don't know why I cannot do this math, but it's around 75, 76, and yeah, that's a pretty good record if I have to say so myself. Whether or not that means that you should trust my shipping ideologies and how I think of shipping, that's up to you. Like I said, one of my biggest flaws is trying to deduce harem series because the authors are so weird whenever they're writing harem series and the romance. I think most of the L's that I got were from harem series, which sucks. But for the majority part, I think I'm really a good judge of how romance is written. That doesn't mean that I'm always correct. Like, you could clearly see I have 13 losses. But I think I'm a good judge. And I just like shipping a lot. And I think that overall, shipping in anime video games, I think it's just Japanese romance in general is just so well written. I think I just love the way Japanese writers write romance. I think it's just so freaking good. And even some American authors, like for Superman, Batman, and stuff like that. But I think 75% success rate is pretty goddamn good. So, yeah, let me know what your shipping record is. And if you want to calculate your own shipping records, please do so. And let me know down below what your shipping records are. But thank you so much for watching. This is an hour and 20-minute video. Jesus Christ. I apologize for that, but it was just so much fun. I had so much fun doing this. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Bye-bye.